Hey guys, welcome to the show. We're going to kick things off at the one and only Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio, with a special focus on Jim Morrison and the Doors. Let's check it out. We're here in Cleveland, Ohio at the one and only Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and we're delighted today to have the curator of the Hall of Fame, Jim Henke, with us. Jim, welcome to Guitar Shop TV. Delighted to have you with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Jim, this is such a treat today. We're standing in front of the iconic Jim Morrison exhibition. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, this is an exhibit. It's a very interesting exhibit. It's a lot of things. Basically, all these items came from Jim's parents, and it's a really incredible collection because they had saved like every document related to Jim's career and to his life. Basically, it has his birth certificate, these notes that he wrote as a little kid to his parents, his Cub Scout uniform, report cards, all kinds of things like that. There's basically this break in the collection, and it sort of ends when he graduates from UCLA, and then it picks up again with a document that I wanted to talk about, and it's actually a letter that Jim's father wrote back in 1969 to a probation officer in Miami, Florida. In March of 1969, Jim and the Doors were playing a concert in Miami, and at one point, I guess he was very, very drunk, and at one point he asked the audience if they wanted to see his penis. According to the people there, he allegedly then pulled it out and then simulated masturbating and then put it back in, and he was subsequently charged with lewd and lascivious behavior and public drunkenness. The case went to trial and he was found guilty, and then what happened is he ended up basically appealing the conviction, and then he ran off to Paris, and before it went back to trial he ended up dying. It was sort of one of the last events of his lifetime. But what's interesting is this letter that we have here. It's actually in response to this letter, and this letter is from the probation officer down in Florida. The probation officer wanted to know about, he was saying he was a little bit concerned about Jim's mental state and all that, and he wanted to know what interactions his father had with him. So his father wrote this response in October of 1970, actually. This is when it was going back to trial. It's a very sad letter because what he says is that he hasn't seen his son in about 5 years, and that and he points out that Jim was always an excellent student, which, again, all of the report cards and everything we have bear up to that. He pretty much got straight A's and all that. He went and was studying film at UCLA, and then that's while he was at UCLA is where he met the other guys and they formed the Doors. And what his father says in this letter is that he had basically told his son that he didn't like the idea of him being in a rock band, and that he had this great education and he should really use his education and get a real job and all that. And when Jim graduated from college, his parents were living in England at the time. They invited him to come over and Jim didn't go. And then the Doors took off and the rest is sort of history, but it's a very sad letter about a father who's fallen out of contact with his son.
You know, and this is just so timely, just given the recent pardon.
Right, yeah, exactly. Back in this past December, the state of Florida actually pardoned Jim and dropped the charges.
Now that was cool. Jim Morrison was just amazing. Okay, from here we're heading uptown to the Iridium nightclub here in Manhattan, and we got a special interview and performance coming your way from Robby Krieger, the former lead guitarist of the Doors. Let's check it out. The Doors were founded in 1965 in Los Angeles by vocalist Jim Morrison and keyboardist Ray Manzarek. Together with guitarist Robby Krieger and drummer John Densmore, they forged a truly unique sound, combining Morrison's unforgettable vocals and lyrical images with the band's hard-driving rock, blues, and fusion rhythms. The Doors went on to become one of the most controversial and influential rock acts of the 60s, and Morrison's early death in Paris in 1971 only served to enhance the band's iconic status, which it has now enjoyed for over 40 years.
And we loved Miles Davis and Coltrane and all those type of players. We were all pretty much into jazz, and we wanted to be something a little different than most bands, and we couldn't help but be because of our influences. The Doors, we considered ourselves kind of jazz rock, really, because it was like three musicians and a poet, and we all kind of played off each other, and there was a lot of improvisation, So we were the first jazz fusion group. You know, the SG was my first electric guitar, and you know, the reason I bought it was because I went and saw Chuck Berry play one day, and I said, "Hey, you got a red guitar? I'm going to get one like that." I didn't realize it was a 335, so I went to the pawn shop and I said, "Hey, there's one," and it was an SG, so I bought it, and it was the cheapest one in the store too. So, and ever since then, I've always loved that guitar because, you know, it's got so many frets. For one thing, it's got the double cutaway, and it's you know, it's light. You know, Les Pauls were too heavy for me. They felt sluggish, you know. So for me, it's the perfect guitar. You know, for a long time I didn't play SGs. When I was playing fusion, I started playing 355s when I was doing my solo albums. But then about 10 years ago, my friend and road manager at the time, Marco Moyer, he always wanted me to play SGs. You know, "Oh, it doesn't look right for you to play a 335. You know, you got to get an SG." So I said, "No, I don't want to play those anymore." And then, so finally he picked one up, a 67 from this a music shop that he found, and he brought it over and he said, "Hey, just try this, you know." I said, "Wow, this is great," you know. And ever since I've been playing that guitar. So, and then Gibson finally came out with my SG, and it's an exact copy of that guitar that we bought back in, it's a 67.
Did you put any other features into it, or you just
kept
it
got,
as a...
the neck is actually from a Les Paul Jr. And it's got special wiring where you can put the pickups out of phase with a push switch and get that peace frog sound.
Keep your eyes on the road and hands upon the wheel. You gotta roll, 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 gonna thrill my soul, alright. Roll, 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 gonna thrill my soul. You gotta leave it to town. Pump, 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 it's a new day. Pump, pump, a new down. Jump, bum, bound, down, bound, to chow. Bum, down, bum, down, oh yeah, right. Ashen lady, give up your vow, give up your vow. Save our city, save our city, right now. Well, I woke up this morning and I got myself a peanut. Yeah, I woke up this morning and I got I said I woke up this morning and I got come on. Yeah, I woke up this morning and the future's uncertain for me and it's always been. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll all night long.
Robby Krieger, Evan on vocals.
Wow, totally cool. Thanks, Robby, for sharing your thoughts with us. Okay, guys, that's it for now. We'll see you next time. Make sure you check us out on guitarshoptv.com or find us on Facebook. We got something new going on every day. See you soon.